Hi, this is Doug Lambert, and I'm shooting a series of stories. I want to leverage my past background and experience and share it with people who might be interested in many different topics. So the topic I'm going to talk about now is MBA, Master of Business Administration. So if you're out there somewhere and you're thinking of doing an MBA, or you're someone who's already done MBA, this story might well be of interest to you. So what brings this to life for me now is I've just had a reunion with my MBA group who graduated 35 years ago. And we had an amazing reunion. 39 of us graduated and 17 of us were able to get together. And we came from all over the place, Australia, America, New Zealand. And we got together and we had this fascinating opportunity to find out what's happened in the life of each of us over the last 35 years. So at the time of MBA, we were sort of late 20s up to 40s. Now we'd shifted on. Now we were 60s and 70s. What had happened in this time gap? So we had this gathering with really good social engagements, lunches and dinners, so we were able to interact one-on-one and really get a good understanding of what each person had done. And what this made me think about, first of all, in my own context. So what did I get out of this MBA? As I think back, how useful was it for me? For me, it's been invaluable. It was so useful. Why? It was perfectly timed for me as I transitioned into the corporate world. It gave me credibility. I had done not only an accountancy degree, but I had an MBA on top of it. So it helped me get a job at an early stage, and then it helped me advance in that job quickly. It gave me the credibility that goes with this. But much more meaningfully than that, it helped me in so many areas. So it significantly improved my confidence in my quantitative analytical skills in subjects like statistics and advanced finance, which I had, but it moved me up another level. I got so much out of interacting and working in small groups where we had to come to an outcome quickly. And I learned to put myself in others' shoes. I had to look at this from different angles. Don't just see it from my point of view. See it from other point of view. And it's important to bring everyone along in the outcome that you decided. It was invaluable. I learned the 80-20 principle. You don't have a lot of time, so you have to focus on the important things and do them well and let some things go. It was a major learning for me. One of the core skills that I think anyone would benefit hugely from was situation analysis. So right at the start of this program, we learned how to analyze any situation, whatever it affected, any area, where you look at the situation and you've got a process of understanding your aim, you consider all the factors and deductions and courses open, and you quickly come to a well-informed decision. So situation analysis was very, very powerful in this. So for me, it was invaluable experience. And another secret that came out for me in this was I was able, while I was on the MBA, to actually apply what we were learning on a major project that I was involved in my job, a critical project. So it wasn't just an academic exercise. And we were able to apply it to other real-life situations on trade union discussions and so on. So I rated it exceptionally highly. If I reflect on the rest of the group now that I met with, so there were 17 of us there were a few main themes that stood out. The one was how few people went all the way in climbing the corporate ladder, very few. And why was that? And I dug around to find out. Those that went all the way, they really believed in themselves and they loved the corporate environment. It gave them the opportunity to have big challenges and deal with all the politics and the dynamics at board level and so on. And they went on, they got fulfillment, and they got great freedom in terms of financially doing well, being able to what they do. But there were a small number of them. And a larger number of them, after a short while, 4 or 5 years, left the big corporate environment. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong, it was just them. Why did they leave? they weren't completely comfortable in the corporate environment. For them, they weren't able to do what they wanted to do and what they were good at. They weren't really enjoying it. They didn't like the dynamics of it. They were limited in terms of their scope for moving forward. So they moved into their own business, all working in small companies, where they had more scope to make decisions and to be more innovative and creative, unrestrained. And within this is the most of them. Those that did really well did one of two things. One, they went into something to do with IT, digital, online, and in many different ways they've been very successful. Another part of them that did really well, they got into real estate property, and they made a lot of money investing very carefully in real estate in different parts of the world where demand exceeds supply. And they got the capital gains, and they made a bundle in a short space of time. So there was IT, there was the real estate. The third part of this group was those who never moved forward really. They just did something to sustain an existence, and they accepted it. And in their case, they never believed in themselves. They thought this was good enough. They were complacent. I've got food on the table, what more do I need? They never pushed themselves to anywhere near their full capability. And in discussion with them, what was interesting, what came out was, you're still young, you're 60, you've got another 30, 40 years ahead of you. Why don't you use that now? And you can do it in different ways. So, coming back to the question that I started with, what do you get out of an MBA? It depends on the individual. It's so personal. I think the secret is you've got to really want it. If you really want it, you put in the extra effort and you'll get something worthwhile. If you're not sure, then maybe it's not right for you at this time. What everyone that I spoke to said, they all were glad that they did it. What did they get out of it? It was good on their CVs. It would help them get jobs in the future. It helped them advance to a certain stage within the company that they were in, and they were able to apply different things that they'd learned. There was no one there who wasn't glad about being on the MBA program. So, as I finish the story about MBA, for me, the most central part of it, the secret, if you want to call that, is you've got to really want it. It's got to be well timed for you. You've got a purpose why you want to do it, and then you'll put in enough to make sure you get the best out of it. Thank you.